The Great Gospel of John, Volume 1. First day in Sisha, Chapter 46. During the descent from Mount Gerizim, healing of a leper, about zeal and proper restraint. As already mentioned before, we were not actually at the top of the mountain, but lower down on the first rise, because of the larger space there which was suitable for the large crowd that had followed me from the town, among which were many old and already rather weak people, who in the considerable heat of the day would hardly have reached the peak of the mountain. But we were nevertheless rather high up, and the descent was only slow, as the twilight made it hard to see the path for some people with weak eyes. As we thus slowly and carefully descended from the mountain into the plain, a man, covered in bad sores, was lying by the roadside. He immediately got to his feet, came to me, and said in a plaintive voice, "O Lord, if it were only your will, you could make me clean." And I stretched out my hand over him and said, "So it is my will that you shall be clean." In a moment the sick man was cleansed of his leprosy. All the swellings, scabs, and scales had vanished suddenly. As it had been a particularly bad case of leprosy, beyond help from any physician, all the people were quite amazed when they saw how this man became so suddenly clean of his leprosy. Now the cleansed man meant to praise me vociferously, but I warned him, saying, "I tell you that for the time being, you must not tell anybody about this, except the high priest. Go to him. He is walking behind us with my disciples. When he will have confirmed that you are cleansed, then go home and sacrifice on the altar what Moses has ordered." The cleansed man did immediately what I bade him. The high priest was also greatly astonished and said, "If a physician had told me, 'Look, I am going to cure this man,' I would have only laughed and said, 'Oh, you fool, go to the Euphrates and try to bail it out. Each bucketful drawn will be replaced by 100,000. However, it should still be easier for you to drain the Euphrates than to restore health to this man, whose flesh has already begun to decompose.'" And the man whom we have now recognized as the Messiah managed to do this with a single word. In truth, this suffices us. He is definitely Christ. We do not need any further proof. In truth, if today someone should ask me for a shirt, I would not only add the coat, but all my clothes. For this prize I am truly willing to give away everything right to the shirt, and I now realize that his is a purely divine teaching. Yes, he himself is a Jehovah now bodily with us. What more could we wish for? I will be a herald all night to announce his presence in all the streets and lanes. Following these words, he runs to me, that is, close to the well, falls at my feet and says, "Lord, do stop just for a moment that I may worship you, for you are not only Christ, a Son of God, but God himself, clothed in the flesh with us." Say I, "Friend, let that pass. I have already shown you how to pray, so pray silently, and that is sufficient. Do not do too much today, and as a result maybe not enough tomorrow. There should be a right measure observed in everything. If you add the coat to the shirt, that is quite enough to make the poor your very good friend forever. But if you, when he only asks for a shirt, would add all your clothes, this would embarrass him, and he will think that you either want to confound him or that you are out of your mind. And look, nothing good would have been achieved thereby. However, if someone asks you for 1 shekel, and you give him 2 or maybe 3, you will make the borrower's heart glad, and your own very happy. But if you give 1,000 shekels to the one who came to you to borrow only 1, he will be alarmed and think, "What does that mean? I asked him for 1 shekel only, and he wants to give me all he possesses. Does he take me for insatiable? Does he want to embarrass me, or has he maybe become deranged?" And behold, such a man will not become a gain for your heart, nor will such an attitude on your part be of benefit for his heart. Therefore, just a fair, full measure in everything, and that is quite sufficient. This instruction has fully satisfied the high priest, and he speaks to himself, Yes, he is right in everything. If one does exactly as he said, it is quite in order. What is below or above it is either bad or stupid. For if I today gave everything away, and tomorrow maybe an even poorer man came to my door, what could I give him then? How sad it would make me, for I would no longer be able to help an even poorer man. The Lord is absolutely right in all things, and knows how to arrange for the best measure to be applied everywhere. Therefore, all honour, praise and glory be to him alone, and the fullest adoration from all hearts.